There we go.
One more then. One more.
Great to see you. How are you?
Sure. And right here, please. Thank you.
We know so much about breast cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, lung cancer, but it is not as devastating to the female population as heart diseases. And it's actually something we can watch out for. We can take care of ourselves, we can eat right, we can exercise, we can have our blood checked, we can make sure our HDL cholesterol is good, our LDL, all of that. I don't check my blood right when we come out of Top Chef because I would get a really bad report card. Like if you saw my liver after, it was not good. But once it's true. I know this because I've had to make sure a doctor monitors me because it's important to stay healthy, and it's an occupational hazard for me.
I've done it once before. I love the way that they celebrate health and, celebrate women. It just feels really nice to be here. Yeah, it's important. Just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do for yourself. Always take care of yourself. Women always take care of other people, and I think sometimes we put ourselves, not even sometimes, most times we put ourselves on the back burner. When you make appointments for your kids, the next call should be for yourself. Just go get it checked out.
I come to heart disease not because somebody paid me to do it. I had my heart taken out of my body. I had open heart surgery in 2010, and I'm national volunteer for the American Heart Association. So my job is to raise awareness and advocate for heart health. Well, one of the things we have to do is put heart health on the front burner. It's the number one killer of all Americans, the number one killer of African Americans, and the number one killer of women. I am 3 for 3. So that means I should be focused all the time on my heart health. And I wasn't until I had a heart incident. And the heart incident was not a heart attack. It was just I didn't feel right, and I paid attention to my body. I went in to see my cardiologist, and I was diagnosed with heart disease and had to have open heart surgery. For heart health, eat less, move more, and don't smoke. Very easy.
Well, I had a grandmother who passed from the heart disease. She was only like 71 or 72, I think, too young. And the research shows that women are not treated the same way in the health area, especially with our hearts. So when a man goes in, they do stress tests. They don't do that for women. And it's the number one killer in the world of disease is heart disease. So here we are trying to support that everybody should get their heart checked. It's really important, especially in these stressful times, more than ever, to do stress tests. What's so great about also with the social media and internet, there's so many diets that are healthy, the things to avoid that are bad for the health. Really important to exercise and maintain a healthy mindset to be less stressed. I work on it all the time, and I'm concerned because I'm so stressed all the time, and I'm getting my heart checked. I have gotten my heart checked many times because of my grandmother. And there's hereditary disease in families, and so if you do have that and you do have family members that have passed away, it's very important to go to the doctor and really, really do a work being able to check it out fully.
I had my own heart issue in October, and I am so happy to have this opportunity at an event like this and through other interviews to tell my story, so that maybe another woman will be listening now and hear that I had my symptoms. Maybe she will also think, you know what, I need to go and get checked out. Heart disease kills women more than all cancers put together. That was so shocking. I mean, yes, still check yourself out for cancer, of course, but let's do both. Let's take care of our hearts.
I'm so excited to be here. It's a really important event. I have a direct link to heart disease. My mom has it, my grandparents had it. So it's very important that I'm here, and I'm glad I get to walk for them tonight. So I think, especially being an Olympic athlete, it's important for me to promote physical activity and making sure that we get out there and we're moving and that we're being kind to our bodies and that we're eating healthy, so that way we can prevent heart disease.
I get to escort Flynn down the runway tonight, and I get to talk about how good dogs are for our health and for heart disease. You know, they lower our blood pressure. It's a scientific fact now. They lower our cholesterol. They keep us fit. We live longer, and we know we're happier.
Because I am type 2 diabetic, and diabetes runs in my family. And in the African American community, if you're diabetic, you got a 1 in 4 chance of having a heart attack or a stroke. So if I can use my platform to encourage Black women to say, I got to stop and take a look at my heart health, I want to do that. This is my first time walking, so I'm really excited to be on the runway. I'm very excited. And you have to, I think women, we're Mother Earth. We take so much on our shoulders. We're trying to shuffle around the kids, the loved ones, the spouses. If you have elderly parents, you're dealing with a lot. You've got to stop and say, I love me. Treat your body gently and kindly and with love. That's your best friend.
And I found out that my aunt has an irregular heartbeat. And my aunt is like my spirit, and it's really, really unnerving to hear all those things. So with my platform and my transparency, I want to be able to talk about these things and make it more normal, that it's okay if you're not feeling well, talk to your family members or go to the doctor. It's a really big deal. It's important because 1 in 3 American women die from heart disease still.
Well, you know, I'm participating because it is a great cause. I mean, and I think people are not as informed as they need to be about heart disease. And as an African American woman and a woman, it affects more women and people of color than anyone else. And we die of that more than anything. So I think the statistics are overwhelmingly shocking when you understand, you know, the impact it has on women and African Americans.
I absolutely love what the Go Red for Women represent, the awareness of American heart disease. I have to say that there was so much that I didn't know till I became a part of this group, and I just want to raise awareness with them. I mean, it's the #1 killer of women, and I feel like I want to use our platform to really make people aware of that. Your health, food is so important, and the right food, and working out. And I think sometimes people think working out, you have to do this crazy strenuous activity. It's power walking. It's just being active. And I think those 2 things are so important for your heart, and getting checked up by your doctor. Like, it's so important to know what's going on in your body.
I have personally had a heart condition, so that made me realize that how many people need help and to create awareness, especially my Latino community, because I'm here to represent that. Eat healthy, have healthy thoughts, and love yourself. Don't be afraid to love yourself. Put yourself first.
My stepfather had 2 heart attacks, and he's been in our family for about 10 years now, and so I love the work that the American Heart Association is doing and how they're really trying to figure out how to help more and get more. And I think honestly, anytime when we get to have such an amazing evening for such a good cause, it's just a blessing, because anytime we can shed some more light on such an important topic, it's really incredible. So
I wanted to because I feel like this is a cause that's not talked about enough, and it really should be. And you know, there's people in my family who have dealt with heart disease, and it has a special place in my heart. So whatever I can do to like support, I'm just really excited to be here for the first year.
Isn't it amazing that this red dress collection has been going on for 15 years? 15 years of celebrating the intersection of powerful women, fashion, and celebrating a women's fight to not have heart disease. So in this 15 years, the American Heart Association and our partners have impacted the lives of millions of women in the United States around the world. Women have learned that heart disease is their greatest health threat, and they're taking action to prevent their risk from heart disease. We couldn't be more pleased, but there's so much more to do. Events like the Red Dress Collection are so important because they really shine a light on the power of women taking control of their health, and we want to get a message to women everywhere that heart disease can happen to them. And so this Red Dress Collection is a symbolic event where we really provide a call to action and a celebration at the same time. I go red for my sister Susie, who had a stroke, and for women in this country and throughout the world who are counting on the American Heart Association to save their life.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of women, and it exceeds all forms of cancer combined. And so the AHA has done a wonderful job in terms of increasing awareness amongst women of their risk factors. There's still more to do, but I think, you know, if you think about the evolution of the Red Dress campaign and the Go Red for Women campaign, it's had a remarkable effect.
Well, I think the Westminster Kennel Club with the AHA is a perfect connection. It brings together dogs and the value they can do on human health and exercising, releasing stress, and just activity and keeping busy. So it's a natural fit. And we feel we can do a lot together.
You know, he's really representing all dogs that make our lives so much better. Whether it is stress relief or fitness or blood pressure being lowered by petting your dog, your companion, there's no better thing than having your dog right next to you.
Yeah, so the Macy's Incubator Program is something we do every year, really focused on our diversity and inclusion and finding young, up-and-coming fashion designers, and then giving them the tools and the resources to grow their business. We bring many of their products into our stores and online, and it's just a great incubator program to support diverse and up-and-coming fashion designers.
I was born with a congenital heart defect and had surgery at 3 months old, and they told my parents at 4 days old. So I was transferred from the hospital I was born at down to Children's Hospital in Philadelphia and had my first catheterization at day 4 and open heart surgery 3 months later.
Amazing story, isn't it?
And here you are.
And here
at 25.
she is, looking fantastic, doing fantastic stuff.